Good evening. I'm Brian Reagan, and this is
Tyler Kelly.
And we do come to you with Twilight Talks on faith, and tonight we are in Hebrews 11, verses 8 through 12. Tyler, if you don't mind.
By faith, Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out of the place which he would receive as an inheritance. And he went out not knowing where he was going. By faith he dwelt in the land of promise as in a foreign country, dwelling in tents with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he waited for the city which has foundations, whose builders and maker is God. By faith Sarah herself also received strength to conceive seed, and she bore a child when she was past the age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. Therefore from one man, and him as good as dead, was born as many as the stars of the sky in multitude, innumerable as the sand which is by the seashore.
All right. So now look at the wording on this. We go back to verse 3. By faith the worlds were framed by the word of God. By faith Abel offered to God. By faith Enoch pleased God. By faith Noah prepared an ark. By faith Abraham obeyed. By faith Abraham dwelt. By faith Abraham waited. By faith Sarah received strength to conceive. Now let me ask you, so far, are any of these miraculous? You say, well, Sarah was miraculous. Okay. But did Sarah do something that we would consider miraculous?
Outside of the giving birth part and all that stuff, no.
But did Sarah do anything miraculous? Is giving birth a natural process for women?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The timing of it required supernatural action. By faith, Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out to the place which he would receive. By faith, Abraham went for a walk. By faith, Noah built a boat. By faith, Abel offered some good lambs and their fat. By faith, Abraham dwelled. By faith, Abraham lived in his house. By faith, Abraham was patient, or Abraham waited for the fulfillment of everything God had in mind for heaven. By faith, Sarah received strength. She laughed, but she still received by faith the word of God. And in receiving the word of God, she received the strength to conceive. Now we'll come back into this Monday on Abraham, but I want you to see this pattern. Faith, you will not do miracle faith stuff if you cannot and will not do Abraham went for a walk in faith. By faith, Abraham lived in his house. You say, are you, brother, that doesn't require faith to live in your house? Sure it does. All this stuff is by faith. I mean, when was the last time you thought about your offering on Sunday? By faith, I give this to you, O Lord. I sow this into your kingdom. That's what Abel did. God tells us to make a sacrifice, to give a joyfully. When you give joyfully and you give into the kingdom, that's by faith. That's all the harder it is. You can do more by faith than you ever thought possible. But you will not do more by faith until you do something as simple as going for a walk. You say, but Abraham didn't know where he was going. But you do realize all he had to do was literally put one foot in front of the other until God said, okay, stop. That's all he was doing. He was going for a walk. You have some thoughts on this, brother?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Positive?
I think so.
Okay. He'll have some thoughts by Monday.
Probably.
Chances are. Until then, have a good night. Be blessed. And Lord willing, we'll see you Sunday morning, 9:30 and 10:30, either in person or live stream. Until then.